Hey y'all, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel and thanks so much for watching. Today we're gonna go over a whole week of meals. So this past week, I went ahead and took little snippets of each meal of what we had for dinner. And today I'm gonna share with you that whole week so that maybe it will give you some inspiration on what to put on your meal plan for this upcoming week. I wanna keep doing these videos. I think they're a lot of fun. So if you would, please subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up button, and comment down below and tell me what is on your meal plan this week? I'd love to hear what you guys are making. That's how I get inspiration and learn new things. I will also put links in the description box down below to any recipes that I tried out or recipes that I've used in the past, and any notes that I have about how things turned out, and maybe if there's something that I would tweak if you want to make that same recipe. Starting with Sunday, I made a bunch of enchiladas for a big batch video that I'm going to be revealing to you guys later on. I put them in these containers so I could stock up the freezer, and they would be a perfect little meal to just have Adam take for lunch or just reheat one day when I don't feel like cooking dinner. We can just both pick out what enchiladas we want. So these are pork enchiladas. I did them two ways. One is a green chili enchilada that I have a recipe for, but it calls for chicken normally. And then I did a spicy enchilada with like a Tex-Mex gravy on here, which I have the link to the recipe for that as well. And then I did some quick cauliflower Mexican style rice and some roasted zucchini. So that was Sunday. And then for Monday, we did Mushroom Monday. So I made this green bean mushroom tart, which is really good. It's just a puff pastry that you put green beans on top, and they say to use fresh green beans and then blanch them, but I just grabbed some frozen green beans, thawed them with some water quickly in a colander, and then made sure they were dry and laid them out on it. And then it also has some shallots and blue cheese on top, so it's really good. And then I just did a quick Caesar salad on the side. So I just chopped up some romaine lettuce, added some Parmesan cheese, and then tossed it all with Caesar dressing. I really like to toss my salad together before I actually put it on the plate instead of like putting it on the plate and then putting dressing over it. I prefer to toss it. So this is kind of what the meal looked like in the end. And you kind of pick them up and eat them kind of like a pizza, or you could use a knife and a fork, but we just like eat it like a pizza, and it is super yummy and extra filling for a Mushroom Monday. Then on Tuesday, I made ranch-style meatballs. So this you actually use the ranch seasoning for. And so they have a recipe on the Hidden Valley website for this. I ended up doubling the recipe and then adding a pound of pork and a pound of beef instead. So they turned out super excellent. They were incredibly moist, and I loved them. And we still have some actually today that we need to eat up. And then on the side of that, I did this creamy Parmesan and orzo pasta dish that called for spinach in it, but I didn't have spinach. I did have a head of kale though, so I cut up the kale and used that, and so I can drop that recipe down below. I did, however, think that it needed more liquid in it. I think it called for 2 cups of milk, and I ended up adding like another cup of broth because it needed more liquid. Then on Wednesday night, Adam made ribeyes, and I have my wine there. So he handled this whole meal. I cut up the potatoes for him so that would be like way faster for him to do. So he basically put those potatoes in the oven and roasted them. So we had potato wedges. I have a little ranch on the side. Then he did roasted asparagus on the grill, or grilled asparagus, and then made the ribeyes out of our butcher box. This is just one cut in half. I went ahead and split the other half with my sister so that she would have a yummy meal as well, since we had plenty of sides that day. On Thursday, I did a little bit of an experiment. I made some chicken tostadas where I did flour. That one on the bottom was a flour tortilla that I fried up, and then I also did corn tortillas, and then all the toppings. So lettuce, salsa, cheese, sour cream. I cut up some avocados and cut up some tomatoes as well. And what I did is I put 3 chicken breasts into this crock pot and then let them go for about 6 hours on high with some taco seasoning. And then when they were done, I just went ahead and shredded them up, and we used those kind of like shredded taco toppings. Then we have these Borracho beans. They're the HEB brand. They have Shiner Bock in them, which is a beer. And so they were really yummy. We like to have that can, and I just put those on the stove and warmed them up. And then you can see here are the tostadas assembled. They're really just flat tacos that you just stack things on top. I have one of the flour that's on the left and then one of the corn on the right. I think I liked the flour was a little bit sweeter and it tasted great, but the corn was definitely crunchier and more traditional. Then on Friday night, I forgot to take a video the day of, so I took this one later. Adam made some yellow rice out of a box, some frozen broccoli he just put in the oven to roast, and then he also did shrimp on the grill. For these, he said all he did was add Cajun seasoning, and then he poured some beer over them and let them kind of soak in that for a while. And they turned out really well. They were super delicious. So those were the meals for the week, and Saturday we just had leftovers.